So the quote you mentioned was from Elton Jenkins. After the last time the Lions and Packers played, he said, the team that executed won, not the better team. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Look, I think that the, quote, bulletin board material at the NFL level, it's a little bit different than the college level. College game is your motivations are derived so much from raw, exposed nerve emotion. In the NFL, you're a professional. But I do think some teams do a better job than others, and some players. I think we have two specifically that really feed into, you said what? You did what? One is Jared Goff. Because Goff, I was thinking about Goff. Goff never starts anything. He never makes bold proclamations. He never, he always, if he said something good about the Lions, it's kind of in a humble way, or maybe you've recognized we're pretty good way. Like he doesn't do a we're gonna kill them kind of thing.
No,
or we're so much better than kind of way.
He pumps up his teammates and lets you know how good they are.
Yeah.
And the coaching staff, he's a very positive guy, but without being braggadocious about what's going on.
But when Ryan Fitzpatrick on a pregame show mentions that Jared Goff is nothing but a poor man's Matt Ryan, and then Goff ends up on the desk next to Fitzpatrick in the postgame, says, hey, I'm not a poor man's anybody. Yes! Like Jared uses that stuff. Amon-Ra uses that stuff. Listing the 16 receivers or 17 receivers taken before him in the draft in order he can rattle them all off. Yesterday, the players poll with The Athletic, and nobody picked him to be on the NFL's flag football team. He knows that now. And I'm sure
whether there were 10 receivers picked ahead of him, he got one vote.
Okay, whatever
10
it was.
guys that got more than one vote.
Yeah. But the team that executed won, not the better team. Look, the Packers have tortured us for two eras of quarterbacks. Brett Favre into Aaron Rodgers. The Lions ended the Rodgers era with a great season-ending win that was one of the most gratifying,
satisfying,
meaningless wins in team history.
Well, yeah, right, because they knew at that time they weren't going to make the playoffs because what happened in the Rams Seahawks game before them.
Mm-hmm.
But they were going into Green Bay on a Sunday night game. And Aaron Rodgers' last game at Lambeau Field. And the Packers needed that win. All they had to do was beat the Lions, and they're in. They're in the playoffs.
Yep.
Lions had nothing to play for other than to spoil the Packers' fun. That's exactly what they did. And that was one of the top 5 most satisfying wins in my life as a Lions fan.
And look, we didn't have, when that happened, we didn't have 2 playoff wins. We didn't have division clinching wins. We didn't have any of that stuff. And so our list of satisfying wins was actually pretty paltry and pathetic. But all that's changed. Stamp on the division right now. Is this Detroit's biggest rival? Is this the team that you like beating the most?
Yes.
It is? More
Green
so
Bay.
than Chicago, Minnesota, more so than the Cowboys.
Yeah, because we face them twice a year. It's a division rival. It's the team that has tortured us for, how many years, right? We have those moments in time we can't believe. Barry Sanders not being able to run at the frozen tundra Lambeau Field in a playoff game. The Sterling Sharp play. Brett Favre being as good as he was forever. Aaron Rodgers being as good as he was forever. Hell, Don Majkowski being good. It's brutal.
Matt
Flynn getting it done over Matthew Stafford, despite the fact that Stafford had this amazing game. Matt Flynn said, "Hold my beer," and just destroyed the Lions.
Made himself a bunch of money, never played that well.
The Packers last year on Thanksgiving, first play of the game, 43 yards to Christian Watson. Like, what just happened? Are we going to lose to this? Is Jordan Love the guy again? Crap.
He still might be pretty good, but it will be awfully nice to see a Lions team really put their stamp on this division. Back-to-back division wins. Green Bay is putting everything they have into this game. But fans, 248-539-9797. Is this your favorite team to beat? Does this feel like a narrative-changing possibility here in the NFC North? Or does none of that change until the Lions win a Super Bowl? I mean, winning this game will basically eliminate one of the teams chasing them in the NFC North. You never know when Minnesota may falter. And maybe they'll have, I mean, it'd be great to clinch that before the season finale. But there's work to be done, right? There's a lot of work to be done. I haven't made it easy, but I feel like this is a narrative changing game. And it's gone on forever, man. I mean, Green Bay, it feels like basically, Gator, since we've been working together, it's been getting bitch slapped by Green Bay.
Right. This is why I savor every time they can beat the Green Bay Packers. I love when they beat the Packers.
Yep. I guess listening to the whatever it is, 1440 or sports radio and podcasts, it got me so amped up for this. Because there is a narrative that it was just injuries. Jordan Love was slowed, shot themselves in the foot, their own mistakes, and time to send a message to make a step towards getting the division back. No.
No, and it's the thing was before when the Packers are beating up on the Lions were pathetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if they weren't pathetic, they weren't good enough. Obviously, they weren't good enough to win playoff games. So it sucked. But now the Lions are not just good, they might be great. And the Packers are good as well. So when you match up and the rivalry takes it to another level and both teams are good at the same time. So I love it. Let's find out who's better. Well, what do? You play each other on the field. And round one, the Lions won. Round two is tomorrow night.